So, a business plan is going to be one of the most important documents you draft as a social work entrepreneur. Yet, it is one of the most underutilized documents by social workers just starting out in business, and one of the most underestimated documents utilized by social workers already in business. Therefore, in this video today, I'm going to share 3 tips that will help you get your business ideas out of your head and onto paper so you can create a targeted business plan that will work for you year after year in your business. So let's get into it. Hi there, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Michelle V. Scott, and I am a social worker turned entrepreneur, and I help other social workers like yourself go from being overworked and underpaid to owning your entire 24 hours by helping you remove the overwhelm, frustration, and confusion associated with starting a private practice or business so you can feel at ease on your entrepreneurial journey as you learn how to gain more time freedom, career freedom, and financial freedom. So today I'm doing this video because business plans are just so overlooked and so hated by many of the clinicians I work with. And I'm sure that many of you probably feel the same way. But I will tell you, it's going to be one of the most important documents in your business. It is going to be the document that provides the most clarity about your business and where you're going, where you're headed in your business, and the goals that you like to achieve. But not only does it help you with that, it helps you identify your ideal customer, clients, or community. It helps you identify your key activities. It helps you identify your cost structures and how you're going to bring revenue into your business. And if you're not familiar with these terms, we are going to cover them more in depth as we get into this video. So let's get started with the first thing that you need to identify inside of your business plan to help you in your business. So, determining the customer's needs is the first place that you're going to want to start in your business because the customer is who is going to pay you money, and they're going to be the people that make your business a business by spending money with you. If people don't spend money with you, then your business is merely a hobby, right? And so, your customers' needs are greatly important. And so, some of the things that you're going to look for is, and we've talked about this in so many videos, is what is their problem? So the problem they want solved, what is the pain that they want relieved, and what is the desire that they want fulfilled? You have to identify this because it is the thing that you will create the solution to, that then people will give you money to help them with their problem, pain, or desire, right? And so the customer's needs absolutely have to be identified. But those, again, aren't the only needs of the customer. There is also needs around what services will you provide to help the customer, right? So what tools are you utilizing? Not only as that, how are you reaching your customer? So those might be considered customer channels. And so some of the customer's needs include customer relationships, right? So how are you developing these relationships? What do transactions look like for you? And so all of this information has to definitely be captured in your business plan because it will help you identify the money you're going to spend, which includes your cost structures, which we'll talk about in the third bullet. But it helps you just get an overall snapshot of the customer that you're serving, what their needs are, and how you are going to help them with these needs. When you look at the business's needs, you shift your focus from the customer to the things that the business is going to need to be successful. So when you talk about the customer, part of the customer's needs is the value proposition that you develop. So what is the value proposition? Well, that is the reason why people are going to give you money, right? So you tell people, I am going to help you with XYZ by doing XYZ, right? And so that is the promise that you offer to them by them utilizing your services. So the promise that I might offer to someone who's coming to services at the Social Work Entrepreneur Academy is I can help you figure out how to start your clinical private practice and be up and running in as little as 90 days. That's huge for some people who have been working at it for a year and still trying to figure things out, right? It's going to get them there much faster. So that is their needs. But the business's needs are different. So I might need to look at what tools do I need in place to help them get to that goal in 90 days? What businesses do I need help from in order to deliver that value proposition? So, for example, I need internet services, right? I also need a course platform to host the courses that I offer to people so they can have a space to learn in that. And so all of these things are the business's needs. I also need an accountant, right? I need a business attorney. I need an insurance professional to write my E&O insurance because I don't have malpractice. I don't do clinical work, so malpractice is not a fitting insurance for me, but I have what's called E&O insurance, which stands for errors and omissions. So that is definitely a business need because I need to be protected in case I give out erroneous information or I omit information that causes them to have some type of loss, which I try not to do, but we're all human. Anything can happen. That is why we have these type of insurances in place to protect us and to protect our clients and to protect our business. And so those are some of the things that you want to capture when you're assessing the business's needs. And then finally, the financial needs of the business are highly important because you have to know what money is going out and what money is coming in. And so, two things that you look at when you're assessing the financial needs are cost structures and revenue streams. And so, cost structures basically identify where your money is going to. Who are you paying to deliver, to have services? So you're paying for your lights. You might be paying for your office if you're offering, face to face work in a clinical private practice. If you're only offering telehealth services, then you're paying for your internet. You're paying for your telehealth platform, your electronic health record platform. They might be one and the same. They might be different according to what you select for your business. What is the best option for you? Other cost structures might include paying an accountant or business attorney or whoever you have to pay. And so cost structures identifies everything that you have to pay out in order to make your business run. Now, revenue streams is going to identify any services, products, and or programs that you're offering that bring money into your business. So what are those revenue streams? Sometimes people only have one stream of revenue, which might be the money that they bring in from their clinical private practice. Some people have multiple streams of revenue that they're bringing in, and that might consist of having a clinical private practice and then some type of maybe consulting business where they work with other businesses to help them. And so they're bringing in a couple of streams of income. They might have digital products, they might have coaching services or counseling services. And so it's really determined by what products, services, or programs that you create to bring money into your business each and every day. And so those are things that are important to identify, because if you try to go off of the top of your head with that, you won't capture what you're already doing, and you won't capture what's working, what's not working, and where you may need to pivot in order to improve your business and the money that you bring in and the services that you offer, right? And so all of these things kind of come together and they really influence each other. And so those are three areas: the customer's needs, the business's needs, and the financial needs. Now, that is in a basic lean business plan, but I've identified some other areas that I usually take my clients through, which also encompasses identifying the transformation, right? And so the reason why I've brought this in is because not only do I help clinicians start a clinical private practice, which is a bit more cut and dry than a digital online business, right? But that is one area that I help social workers in, is establishing a digital online business. Well, when you are establishing a digital online business, there's a little bit more murkiness in the water than there is with people who are starting a clinical private practice. And so, because of this, I have identified what's called the transformation needs. And so, what transformation needs to take place in this person's life in order for them to be willing to spend money with you, right? Because people pay for transformations, they don't pay for information. And so, with that being said, the transformation needs need to be identified by someone who's definitely starting a digital online business. Main reason is typically with digital online businesses, and not always, you can have products that vary the gamut, right? I have products that are $27 all the way up to products that are $1,000 based on what I'm working with that person on and what the outcome is that they're seeking. A highly valuable outcome warrants me charging more money. So, for example, if I am working with someone who's starting a digital online business, I'm going to show them how to start generating money in that business right away. And that can potentially be a lot of money that is injected into their business within the first 30 days, right? So, the outcome of the training that I provide them offers greater return on their investment, right? So that means that I am doing what's called value based pricing. I am pricing my services based on the valued outcome that they achieve. And so, with that, I am able to identify clearly that transformation that people are willing to pay me for. So, you might be asking, what is that transformation? Well, that transformation is I help them figure out how to have more time freedom, career freedom, and financial freedom by starting a digital online business. But that's not the only transformation that I offer, right? There's the transformation that I offer for clinicians who want to start a clinical private practice, right? Who have been trying to figure it out and getting fragmented information from Google, from YouTube, from all these places. I'm on YouTube. The information I offer here, I cannot capture in one video everything I would need to cover with someone in order for them to figure out how to start their clinical private practice. So I have a digital course that people enroll in because there's only one of me, and it got to a point where so many people wanted the service. I created a digital course to scale that, right? So it's not me showing up one on one, it's me showing up one on many who purchase the service, which allows for me to sell it at a lower price point. But there is a transformation for them, right? And that transformation is I get to open my clinical private practice much faster and, in a more sound way. And I feel definitely, they feel they definitely feel like they know more by working with me. Now, this is not everybody. Some of you might know way more than I do, but the people I work with, I help with this transformation of going from an employee to an entrepreneur by starting their clinical private practice and getting there much faster than they would if they did it on their own. Again, the transformation is the same with the digital online business that social workers want to start. I help them get clear about how to do that. Now, how am I able to do this? Because I figured it out on my own. Well, not on my own. I've had some training, but I figured it out and I've done these things for myself. And I teach it in a way that people find it beneficial. Some people might find it beneficial to go elsewhere based on teaching style, right? So, all of these things are important to capture in your business plan because you want to be able to verbalize the transformation that you help people with. And then also included in this transformation is the offer that you give people. So, you might be asking, what is the offer? So, the offer, consider the transformation, the contents inside of a box, and the offer, the wrapping that's outside the box, the presentation of how you deliver it to them, right? And so the transformation might be you can have your clinical private practice open in 90 days, but the offer might be I help you do this for $200, right? That's not what I do. That's not the price that I do it for, but well, just for the sake of saying I do it for $200, right? Working with someone one-on-one, I might charge 200 an hour. That is not my rate per hour. It's higher than that when I'm working one-on-one with people. But I'm just giving you examples of how that offer might look, right? So the offer is different than the transformation, and you need to definitely capture these in your business plan so you can have an idea of how you are going to generate revenue inside of your business, right? So you have your revenue ideas, you have your product, your program, or your service, but then how are you going to package that service to entice people to purchase, right? So there you have it. You have 3 quick tips to writing your social work business plan so you can start your social work clinical private practice or your digital online business. Now, if you have any questions related to this video, I host meet and greets several times a week, so you can definitely sign up for one and ask your question. The link is in the description box below, and I look forward to seeing you there. Remember, if you like this video, please be sure to click the like button, subscribe, and click the notification bell so you are notified each time I release a new episode, which is every week on Monday. Until next time, this is your girl Michelle saying, stop waiting. The time is now. Start your private practice. Bye.